Welcome back. In this session, we're going to look at 5 mistakes that career professionals need to avoid. Want to know what they are? Let's look at them. The first one is looking at jobs from the sole perspective of salary. While there is no debate that salary package is important, but the issue comes when you start looking at from the tinted glass of package only. Sometimes package mars your, in fact most of, if you're only looking from a perspective which, like I said, this goes back to the concept of a dream. If you have the concept of a dream company, which is, like I said, it's a myth, and the biggest factor influencing that is the package. No company pays just like that. There are always strings attached. Okay, so you will want to, what are the other factors you need to look at besides the package? Package is not the sole factor you look at. Yes, you might be saying, yes, I do look at other factors. But you know what? When it comes down to it, it is the package which is subconsciously making a decision for you. I've seen this mistake made by so many students when they get onto a job, start their career. Their sole criteria is, how can I get an internship or how can I get into a company which pays the highest package? That is what they ask me. And I can't believe it, because it seems that they're making the same mistake that I would have made 20 years back, even 20 years back. So it's going, the way we think is very similar. So a great package does not necessarily mean that it is the right company for you. It is very, very important. There's nothing like it. You're working in an environment in which you're very happy and also getting a great package, fantastic. But it should not be your main criteria. That's the point I'm trying to make. There are many other factors. As you go along the program, so you'll understand what those factors are. Point number 2 is not doing enough research on the company. Okay, again, this and point number 1 is related. So maybe the package is so good, you don't feel it feasible to consider to look at because the brand is so good, because the package is so good. Have you researched? Doing enough research, very, very critical. Maybe it's a great brand, but look at the financials of the company, the P&L, the balance sheet. Have you looked at the customer reviews? What are the customers saying about that company products and services? What about the practices of the company? Are they ethical? What are look at the, for example, yes, Glassdoor is one. You can look at Glassdoor reviews, but that's just one criteria. Look at the credentials of the people who are interviewing you. What are the credentials? When you meet up with the interview, how professional are they when conducting the interview? Are they conducting on time? Are they professional in the way they ask you the questions? How are they conducting it? That tells you a lot. In fact, one of the best ways also is to research is, are you reaching out to your connects in that company? Maybe your alums, maybe your school friends, or somebody in your network who is working there. Get some feedback. Nothing beats a first-hand feedback. Ideally, if you can make a visit to that company, you can get real information how that company is. How are they treating the people? Are the people, what kind of language they're using? What kind of dresses they're wearing? How are they wearing? Is the general culture, calm, or is it very, very stressed out? You can get a sense of that. You can get a real sense when you actually visit the place. So my point is, research as much as possible, because remember, when you get into a company, you don't want to work there for 15 days. You want to be typically working there for quite some time. It's a strategic decision. So research properly. This is one of my favorites. This is something that I've been led to believe. Remember the statement? You might have heard about this. Actions speak louder than words. Now, it's a great statement and I do agree with it. But that statement should be looked upon in the right context. As a child, you might have been told by your parents, work hard, work hard. Yes, hard work is very important. But you know what? So does everybody works hard. The guy selling tea at the train station, the person who's delivering packages to you from the logistics company, the person who is clearing the garbage, everybody's working hard. But how are we recognizing? Do we even remember the names? And I say this from my own experience again. I worked for a very long time in my company, but I realized that hard work by alone is not sufficient. You know why? Let me ask you another question. Which skills do companies seek for in hires? You know what is that? You know what that is? Let's look at that. So the top skills you will see out here. This is as per study by GMAC Corporate Recruiter Survey 2017. Oral communications, number one skill. Listening skills, written communication. In essence, the ability to communicate. So if you are working hard, but if you do not have the ability to communicate, you, my friend, are going to struggle. Communication skills, also the ability to market yourself. Because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. So actions do speak louder than words, but we need to look at action is very, very important. But words are very, very powerful, extremely powerful. Okay. So don't leave it to just your performance alone. You need to be in a position to be able to communicate effectively. The next thing is I see so much fuss being made by career professional students, on the grades, on the kind of college they've been to. I've seen working professionals, lady getting jittery about the marks that they're getting. You know what? That these marks or the kind of college you come from only matter at the starting point to get a foothold in the company. But can you sustain yourself out there? Can you grow yourself out there? Studies show that 80% of your success is determined by not IQ but by EQ, emotional quotient. Only 20% by IQ. What is emotional quotient? Your ability to communicate, your social interpersonal skills, your ability to manage stress, your ability to diffuse conflict, your ability to empathize with people. Are you noticing something here? Success is related to EQ. And where does EQ come from? Emotional quotient. Does it come from the company? Does it come from your boss? Does it come from a degree? It comes from you. It comes from within you. And that is the core of this program. So focus on EQ. Don't fuss too much about your grades. That's just a starting point. Okay. Now let me ask another question before I point out the next mistake. What do you think is the best investment in the world? What do you think is the best investment? Gold, diamonds, cryptocurrency? You know what the answer is? Let's listen from the legend of investments, Warren Buffett. And this is what he has to say. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you will earn. Did you have an aha moment right now? Did you have a bulb on moment right now? Let's look at how you can progress, the typical progression of career professionals across a lifetime. So here I've taken a graph, number of years, and on the y-axis, the success or your dream career. All right. A typical career professional, the average career professional, let us say, can have a great college degree, great company, great boss, typically will do well, and then will have dips in a life, then again achieve some success, and by and large fades out. Achieves some level of success and fades out. And here is the high flyer, the person who leads a dream career, the successful guy, the people who are top of the game. You know what? And this can be in any career, not just in your corporate life. It can be corporate life, it can be sports, it can be business. What differentiates this category vis-a-vis the early category? You know what? Let's look at. Let me give you a hint. So they're getting shots, pills, and these are not medical pills. You know what this pill is? Any guesses? So this is essentially for the brain, coaching, training, mentorship, education. How much are you spending on yourself, on your education? In fact, if you realize the best players in the world, the best people who are best in the game, be it a tennis player or even a hockey or football or even corporate wizards, they have coaches and coaches, multiple coaches. One for health, one for mindset, one for this, one for that. In fact, this is what Bill Gates has to say. And he too has coaches. One of the richest person in the world. Everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs a coach. Who is a coach? Somebody who's been there, who's done that. Who will fast track your path to success? This is what I'm trying to do here. I would like you to achieve in 5 to 7 years in your career what most people do not achieve in a lifetime. The question is, how much are you spending on yourself? The thumb rule is, this is my thumb rule, you can change it, 20% of your annual income. In my own case, I have spent sometime upwards of 100%. In the last 7 years alone, I've spent, you know what the figure I've spent? Take a guess. How much do you think I've spent? I've spent more than 50 lakh rupees on my education alone. This is not to get some certification or something like that. This is purely to how I can evolve myself as a person individually and professionally. Yes, that's the amount. There are years in which I've spent 100% of my income on my education. The thumb rule is spend 20%. The question is, how much are you spending? So I leave you to ponder on this question, and I'll now see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.